Okay, good morning or good afternoon, whenever anybody's watching this. I'm going to give you a quick little tutorial on how to use your Seint makeup. By now you should have already put it into a compact like this, and however big or small you got it, you put your tins in your compact. Now, beginners, I'm just going to give you the basics. I'm not going to go too in depth, but this is Frenchie. I either use Frenchie or Mango to color correct. As you can see, I actually already color correct, but I'm going to show you what I do. You take your Frenchie or your Mango, and wherever you have some darkness, you can just put it. I get some bluish hues right in there. So I'm going to go right here. And as you can see, it's very salmon, peachy colored. But don't worry, I already have my eye makeup and my eyebrows on because I'm not going to do that today. So this is just color correcting. Okay, so we're going to start there. Now I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to go on and put on my main highlight. Now, you can Google and look at other women who do Seint. You got to figure out what works for you on putting it on. For me, I'm just going to show you how I do it. This works for me. I have a hard time with the dot method. I know a lot of people do the dotting and putting it in certain places and then blending it all. For me, it just doesn't work like that. When I do that, it just doesn't blend out well, but for many people it works. So what I suggest is play around with your makeup and see what application method works for you. But I'm going to show you what I do. So I usually take my blush bronzer brush. This is the one I always use almost for everything. And I take the smaller end. Here's the smaller end right here. Now I'm going to go into my main highlight, which is Sandy. I do go down to amber, usually in the winter, but it all depends my self-tanning. So I just tap it in. I go like that. I don't paint it in because you're going to get too much product, you're going to get too much on your face, and you're not going to be happy with it. So a little bit on here. And now I'm going to stipple it on. When I say stipple, it means press it in. Sometimes you might see me going quick on my videos. That's because I've been doing this for so long, I can do it very quickly. But you're gonna just press it in. Now bring that color a little bit up to here, where you have, if you're more mature skin like me, bring it up to here. Don't bring it around that circle because you're just gonna accent that circle that you may have. You may not, if you're lucky. But this is what you can do. So press it in, tap a little bit more, wherever you want that coverage. And you can always go in with a second application. Don't feel like you can't, but start off with a light one. Now I go here and I do blend in there. And I'll do a little, I don't do a lot on my chin. Again, I don't like to see my makeup. I just like to have some nice coverage. I don't put a lot on my forehead. I'm just gonna do one side right now, just so you can see the difference. So I am stippling it. I'm just going really fast. And if you feel like you're a little red right there, because a lot of times we do get red there, you can just either take your brightener or your main highlight and just put a little extra there. But as you can see from that side to this side, even with my nose, just the nice coverage that I got from that. Again, I'm not covering up every freckle or every age spot. You can do that. But I'm just showing you the basic application. I'm just gonna actually maybe do one side of the face. That way it won't take up as much time for you. So now I'm going to go in with my brightener. So my brightener is Candlelit, and I use my finger. If you wanna use the end of a brush like that, you can. I feel like I have more control and it warms up a little bit to my finger, so it makes it go on a lot easier. But I'm gonna go right over my color corrector. So don't worry, sometimes you think when I say that to you when I'm color matching, it sounds like I'm having you do a lot of steps and you're putting on a lot of makeup, but actually you're really not. I'm just tapping in, and now I'm gonna go out here and bring it up because it sort of gives you that lift with your eye makeup. And then I connect the dots. And so I'm really not getting a lot here. It's just whatever is left over is just going in. So sometimes I just need, I can't see in this close enough to make sure I covered up all that Frenchie. And there you go. So definitely a little bit better from that eye to this eye. Okay, so you just go like that. Next, I'm going to show you how I contour. I'm gonna take Astoria, which is a very dark color. You wouldn't think it's not the darkest, but it's almost close to it. And I'm gonna tap in. I use this end. This is the detail brush. I'm gonna tap it in. A little bit there, and then I go above. So here's where a lot of younger women can contour, right where that divot is. I'm not going to because I already have that because I'm older. So I'm going to go a little bit above that because that will just give me a little bit of definition, but it's not going to hollow me out too much because I don't want to be hollowed out. And the rule of thumb is when we're more mature to come no further than here with your contour. Don't bring it down here. It will end up being too much. So bring it to the end of your eye, right there. That's all you need to do. And you can give it a flick up if you want a little bit more of a lift. And then I'm going to go a little bit on my forehead, and I can bring it down a little bit further because I have a bigger forehead. So if you have a smaller forehead, you don't need to use as much. And then you just blend it out. And then I'm going to blend this, and I flick it up. So I take this end of it, the brush, the detail brush, and I flick it up. So it just gives me, and I know right now it looks like a little bit of a line, but as you can see, the more I blend it out. Okay, so I got that. Next, I'm going to go on with a little bit of blush. So this is Hollywood, and Hollywood is what I recommend to a lot of people because it's a great color. I love it. I think anybody can wear this. So I'm going to put it, we can do it two ways. You can either tap it in and just go up here, just like that. And then you can take your brush, you can blend it out. Again, you want the contour and the blush to meet the two lines because you don't want a line and a line. You want them to blend. So, or you can always go in and tap it in like that into your blush brush and tap it in like that. So it gives you that color, but it's a really pretty color. And you can bring your blush here, wherever you want it, whatever works for you. So there, so that is that. And the last, well, two more things. If you did buy a bronzer, this is Bella bronzer, and I'm just gonna show you with this one. Tap it in. I tap it in nice and good. And with bronzer, it's more or less just to give you that little bronzy look. So you can just sort of go like that. Smile a little bit so you can see where the sun would normally hit. So they say do the E motion. You can do a little bit on your neck. But this will just warm you up. And again, it looks like Bella is like really intimidating, but as you can see, it's not going crazy on me. It's just warming me up a little bit. That's Bella, and that's bronzer. So bronzer, you can go more like, do the E. Think of it as an E. And you can always put a little bit of on your nose if you want. And then I'll just show you with illuminator. If you got an illuminator, you can just go like this, watch. So there's no illuminator, and I'm gonna pull it, this is a cream. So this just gives a little bit of that dewy look, if you like that dewy look without a lot of shimmer. So here's one face that's done, little contour. You can still see my freckles and my spots. I got a nice dewy look, and then nothing here in circles. So that is the difference with cream makeup. It's wonderful. It goes on so easily. And again, if you put too much or you want more, you add more. It's so easy. And if you feel like, I put too much on, you just take the other end that had the foundation on it and you just blend it out. And again, push it in because that way it goes in to your skin. It sort of melts in versus sitting on top. If you take your makeup brush, I'm going to say one more thing and then I'm done. If you take your brush and you swipe it in and you swipe it on everywhere, you're going to get that streaky mark. So you're better off just pressing it in, and then it will look like your skin. And then you can just take this, you can put that on. That's the difference. So I think you can see the difference between the two. Very subtle, but I just wanted to show you that's how you're going to do your application. Any questions, just reach out. One last thing I actually wanted to show you. Actually, I have all my makeup on. If you got the pressed powder, I sometimes mostly use loose powder, but I will use the Seint one also. You're going to take a smaller brush if you have that. If not, you can use this brush. Just squish it down a little bit. And honestly, when you're contouring, if you didn't get all the brushes, you can squish this like that and just go like that with your brush. So that's another little secret. But with my pressed powder, I tap it off and then I will go in here and just press it in. That way it just sort of sets my makeup a little bit better. Wherever you don't want shine, you can put it there. Sometimes I might put a little bit there. Again, right here. I just press it in and there. Those are sort of the areas where I may put it. Sometimes if I feel like I'm overly shiny up there, I may do it. It's up to you. But I always set my eyes with it because it just helps. And if throughout the day you feel like you're getting some creasing, because creasing is going to happen. I don't care what kind of makeup you use. You're going to get some creasing. I do this, wash your hands, make sure they're clean. But I will take my fingers and with the cream foundation and the cream concealer, highlighter, brightener, you just press it in. And it goes away. So if you get some of that creasing there, or you might get a little bit there, just press it in and it goes away and it just goes right back in. So, little secret.